Fisher Protocol, the show where saying The Who is the greatest rock band of all time is not subjective, but everything else is. Take a quick second to like, subscribe, and share with your Who-minded friends. The Who is a passion of ours, and this is more of a personal journey, and no money is made from these videos. So liking and subscribing lets us know that we are not alone in Who-land. Constructive feedback is always welcome, either in the comments below or at the new fisherprotocol@gmail.com. Still haven't gotten an email there. I haven't checked recently. And I spout Who-related content kind of on Twitter and Instagram at Fisher Protocol. I'm Ethan. I'm being joined today by my best Who friend, Tom. We do not claim to be experts, just two guys who like to talk about the greatest rock and roll band of all time, The Who. Hey, Tom.
How you doing there, Ethan?
I'm doing good, man. It's been a while.
It has been, yeah.
Yeah, so much so that we pushed it back so much we might record another one later.
Yeah.
Which is the thing I'm not supposed to say, but I say it anyway at the beginning. I'm ready to go. I got my Who pin and my Phoebe Bridgers shirt. Right? And I guess the background gives it away. We're talking about Odds and Sods today.
Yeah. Good.
Odds and Sods released in 1974. There it is. Do you have the cool pull-out one that has the holes in the front?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And is the middle of that picture, if you open it up, is that picture of Keith, like they're at a show, and it's that big famous one with him throwing the scarf or whatever? Because that was a cover of a bootleg I have somewhere, but it was sold from Odds and Sods. Yeah, totally. That's it. There you go. What was, before we started doing this, where was Odds and Sods in your hierarchy, or your relationship with it?
Yeah, I think it was one that I got it at Record Tape Traders in Towson back in the day. Found it in like a used bin.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Yeah.
It wasn't one that I was like, I don't think I was particularly after, because I think the big songs on the album were ones that I'd already heard. So then like something like Little Billy, was I like dying to get after that song? I don't know. So it took me a little while to get the Odds and Sods.
Yeah, I mean, I'd heard all these songs in people's lists of favorite Who songs and be Postcard and Now I'm a Farmer. But I knew all the other ones most of the other ones, because they were part of from what I understand, they're part of the Lifehouse cycle.
Right.
All that, Too Much of Anything, Pure and Easy, Faith in Something Bigger, Naked Eye kind of in there. So I never gave it full attention because I'd always listen to the songs elsewhere.
Yeah.
Which is weird because two of my all-time top 3 or 4 Who songs are on this album, and that's where they were originally released. Right?
Yeah.
So now before I get into this, I just want to say that I thought I was really smart. And I looked in my big Who book of just Who articles, some put together a big book I have, and I found an article from New Musical Express from September 21st, 1974, and I got Pete Townshend's quotes for every song, and then I realized that's the article where they got the liner notes. So I'll try to do that, but it's not original in any way. First song. I think we're going to talk some about the bonus tracks that were released.
Okay.
But I think what we did was we listed the original album and then put the bonus tracks later.
Yes.
Which I don't know why. I think I know why they released the CD like that. Probably just they wanted everything in chronological order. The remastered CD was released with everything in chronological order, which put most of the original album at the end.
Yeah, it's weird.
But when they released the vinyl on Record Store Day a couple years ago, they did it like we did it.
Yeah.
But I don't own that, so we made our own playlist, and we started off with Postcard.
Yeah. I'm usually a big John Entwistle fan. This song doesn't do it for me. It's not a bad song, but it's just got goofy sound effects, and it's just, it's kind of lackluster. Talk about their journey on the on tour and stuff. But not my favorite.
There we go, hating the Who again. No, yeah. But Postcard, I like the beginning. I like the like the horns at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And this and Now I'm a Farmer were paired to go on an EP that they never put out.
Good.
Yeah. About the wobbly, I didn't not like it, but like the wobbly noises would always make me check to see if there was something else in my house that was going on. Like they're almost too good because they stuck out so much that I would always look around like, what's going? Oh, it's the song. It's okay. It's not, it's not a top tier for me. And Pete said, John's bass sounds distant because the cabinet was in a house next door, and that's why I only play one chord throughout the song, because he had his hand on the mixing board and playing the guitar.
Yeah.
But I think Now I'm a Farmer is, it sounds thrown together to me. I guess it's a commentary on hippies that drop out and smoke pot and just farm all day is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
The chorus is pretty annoying. What do you think of it?
Dig it. Yeah. It doesn't do anything for me.
It almost reminds me of It's Hard.
Yes.
It's very hard.
I can see that. I mean, like, silver lining is the piano playing I enjoy. But again, nothing crazy. I always thought there's kind of like a little ode to a quick one. The little middle part with, I guess, Keith playing on the side of a tom or something like that. But yeah, no, again, not a great song.
And please, if you're listening so far and you're like, fuck these guys, they don't like this album, that's not the case. Okay?
Yeah.
Like, we're getting there, trust me.
The lows are low, but the highs.
The highs, you don't get higher in the Who catalog. So, Put the Money Down. Recorded by Glenn Johns, so it's definitely clean. It definitely sounds like the Who. It definitely has got Roger's growl. It's a good song. It's not, my favorite song on the album, but I like it.
Yeah, I literally said, first song on the album that sounds like the Who. From the Lifehouse project. I thought it was good playing. I can see how it would have been a good fit for Who's Next, but the energy is a little off. It's just kind of, there's no like drive to it. But Pete plays well on the solo. It's not a bad song.
Yeah.
Definitely heading in the right direction for the album though.
I was always fascinated by Little Billy.
Yeah.
Because I guess I first heard it, maybe one of the first tape bootlegs I got was the 68 show that they released recently, the Fillmore 68, which was supposed to be a live album. It was just so weird that their jingle for a thing would be so long. And that, the upside of it is being fat. Do you know what I mean? Like, Billy, I like the song a lot.
It's clever, yeah.
It's very clever, and it's kind of in that Odorono mold. Mm-hmm. I think. What was I going to say about it? But yeah, it's like you can smoke all you want, and you're going to die. But the fat guy will end up taking care of your kids. It's kind of what's going on. But he's a good-natured guy anyway. He's like Happy Jack. What do you think of it?
Yeah, I think they picked the perfect band to write this little jingle kind of advertisement song about not smoking. I don't know who else could have done it as well as they had. They did. It's just, I think it's really well written. There's a nice little story. It tells everything it needs to, get the point across. Yeah, it's really, it's fun. Is it top tier? Not really, but it's a fun song. I enjoy listening to it.
And I do think it belongs in that era which it was written, which is that Who Sell Out, era. I think if it's really good there, it's a good song from that time. And Pete says, now if I may take the liberty, this is a masterpiece. So Pete likes it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We have another Lifehouse song, Too Much of Anything.
Yeah.
Apparently the band didn't use it because it seemed hypocritical to be a rock band indulging and telling people they should be wary of too much of anything.
Interesting.
Which seemed to be on their mind. I think it's a great song. It escapes me right now if it was on who came first or not. Sorry for screwing up the notes on that. I like the song.
Yes.
A lot.
Yeah, I think I'm more familiar with it from like the Young Vic shows.
Sure.
But yeah, still a great song. I don't know if it's the most Who-y song, but it's still a really good song though.
And that's why like my mind tells me Pete solo somewhere.
Right.
But like I said, I don't know, and I'm really sorry I didn't get that information. I'm not going to look it up while we're live because I got blasted for that once. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go with what we have. This is why we put the disclaimer at the front.
Yeah.
Stop yelling at your YouTube station. I'm sorry. Glow Girl.
Great one. Yeah. It's good.
It's great.
Vocals are killer. Nice little pop style song. The ending's fun and destructive. Obviously a little, nod to Tommy, coming up. Yeah, it's a great song.
And what is it, going over the contents of the suitcase, right?
Yeah.
Right. I first heard this with the Sellout extra tracks. Mm-hmm. And so it was paired with, I think, Real. It was right near there. So you have these two songs that have pieces of Tommy in them, right? Yeah. And that are either cast away or buried at the bottom of the album. I really like Glow Girl.
Yeah, it's a good one, and I think I read somewhere that Townshend's like, I've never let like a good idea just like die anywhere, and he's obviously he took some of these pieces and moved it to Tommy at some point, but he knew there was something special about him. And
that we'll talk about that more when we cover the Lifehouse Chronicles and that Gateway remix of Who Are You? Okay. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? With the rap in the middle? Okay.
Thanks.
I wanted to save some songs to the end and push in the end because I want to talk about how much I love them, but we're going in order, so we're going in order. The next song is Pure and Easy.
Yeah, this is just... this is like one of those songs if you had like give me a 5-song, if I did like pick 5 Who songs like kind of describe the Who, this is I think would be on the list. Maybe not necessarily because it's a popular song or whatever, but just kind of describes what just I don't know, just what the Who's about and the story and all that, like Lifehouse, it's really good.
I first heard this with the Maximum R&B box set, and everything was kind of mixed in together there. There's lots of fade in and outs over other songs. This song blew me away, and it was this version of this song that I heard. That's the one that's on it, and it kicks off with that organ, right?
Yeah.
Not the guitar. Like, this is my version. It's not the version that's on Who's Next. Extended edition.
Yeah.
It's this one. What really got me was that there once was a note listen at the end, and how much the Who that part is, with him just rocking out his standard what is it, AGD or EGD, whatever it is, progression. Yeah. The lyrics are amazing. Those can be analyzed. I'm not going to do that now. It's just everything is so perfect, especially like that the bridge. It's one of my favorite lyrics ever, and I just posted it last week. We all know success when we all find our own dreams, and our love is enough to knock down any walls. That whole section is beautiful to me. This is one of my favorite songs of all time.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. It's so well written. It builds just throughout the song. Everybody's just firing on all cylinders. Pete playing just incredibly well. His tone is just through the roof. Again, like I said, I think this is a really good embodiment of the Who and Lifehouse and Pete's ideas, and where he was in his mind frame, that kind of thing. And it's top tier, song for these guys. I mean, upper echelon, 1%, that kind of stuff.
Totally. I mean, there's not much more to say about, Pure and Easy. The only thing that's weird about this album is that, 2 songs that I think like this are on this album. But before we get to that other one, we have to have faith in something bigger.
Yeah.
It reminded Pete Townsend of the Bee Gees.
Interesting. Okay. I can see that. Yeah, the vocals, yeah.
And he also said he hated his guitar solo on it.
Yeah, I wrote I liked it.
Well, what do you know? I like faith in something bigger. It is, I believe it's that, there's this couple year time frame where everything that came out of this pen was gold.
Yeah.
Like everything, 100% of everything. And I think this is part of that, in that early 70s. If I had to guess. Yeah.
Great song. I wrote it as a surprise song for me on the album. I don't have any recollection of it earlier. It never left like an impact on me before, but listening to it a couple times, I really like it. It's very different for him, but very good.
Yeah, I like the song a lot. I understand why I'm the Face is on here.
Yeah.
I had originally heard it on that 30 Years box set. And, it has much more meaning when paired with Quadrophenia.
Yes.
For me, because I heard Quadrophenia first before I heard this song. So historically it's good, and it's a good song. I mean, I like it. I like I'm the Face, baby. Is that clear?
Yeah, it doesn't do anything for it. I mean, it's not... Yeah, it's all right. It's a good song. It's like a little Slim Harpo kind of song. Yeah.
But if I was making like a CD of early songs that I hadn't heard before, I'd put it on there next to, Call Me Lightning or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that.
Mm-hmm. All right. I have a great saying that I've come up with recently, which is, What is your favorite Who song and why is it Naked Eye? Yeah. It's up there with Pure and Easy for me. It might be higher than Pure and Easy for me. Not necessarily this version of it.
Yeah, I can see that.
I love, when you're a kid and you hear someone say rhyme guts and nuts, you titter a little bit and you're like, oh, that's awesome. Right. Yeah. But I think like the last verse in particular is some of the best, is my favorite verse he's ever written. I can't tell you what it means. You hold the gun, the one that starts like that.
Yeah.
I love Naked Eye. Naked Eye is the song I would chase at Who concerts.
Yeah.
And I've heard it a couple times, like more than 4 or 5 times. And every time they play it, I feel like I'm that 13-year-old that's discovering the Who again. I just get so excited.
Yeah, it's very special.
It's a great song. And yeah, Damon, tell me what you think.
It's definitely, I think, the most underrated Who song. I don't know. I mean, maybe not with like some really monster Who fans, but I think it holds up to anything that the Who's ever done. It's so well produced. It's perfectly written. The line, if you cover up your nuts, you're admitting you've done something wrong.
Right.
Like, perfect. It's just, the world begins behind your neighbor's wall. I mean, just like, it's just line after line of like these little truthful lines that you don't, it's just an interesting way to say it.
Press any button,
Yeah, it's just perfect. It really is.
For the longest time, I thought that the spirit had taken him so much at Isle of Wight 1970 that he didn't feel to sing. He just wanted to play the solo. I think I found out very recently that he hadn't finished writing the song at that point, and that's why he did that. Yeah. So I love that version too, but because I like the lyrics so much, it's very hard for me to choose a version. It's usually live. You know what I mean? And I was watching randomly this weekend 2004 Isle of Wight, and they did it. It was just Pete and Roger doing it on acoustic guitars.
Yeah.
And it's just an amazing song.
Yeah, there's no bad version.
There is no bad version of Naked Eye. It's probably my favorite Who song if I like had to choose. Like if you're,
I don't. Yeah, I don't know what else you could put up. That, you know what I mean? Like a live version of The Rock would be interesting, but yeah, I mean this is definitely up there.
So look forward for our Naked Eye show where we just talk about Naked Eye in all its different forms coming later. Long Live Rock. What do you think?
I've never been like high on this song. Not because it's bad, but it just, it was. I think it was part of like the Who Essential album I got. You know, is my first introduction to the band. As far as something I had to play. And it's all right, but I've never like gone out of my way and be like, oh, I want to listen to that song.
It's them doing their version of Chuck Berry, kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I like how it goes into their history and it name checks Irish Jack, which is always fun. It name checks High Watt, which I like. You know what I mean? The only thing that really makes it Who for me is the bridge, because the landslide, rocks are falling. With The Rock is Dead, which is, I guess, is an album he was working on at the time. But that's the thing that sets it apart and makes it not a Chuck Berry, like, straight cover song.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's okay for me. It's not like a standout or anything.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's not something I would choose to put on a CD for someone if I was putting together a Who album.
No.
Let's go over some of the... I'm not going to have too much to say except for a couple of these tracks for the bonus tracks from the remaster. Leaving Here, you feel... I didn't feel any affinity for it, really.
Really? I love that song for some reason. I couldn't tell you why.
Okay.
It's just... I mean, like, imagine seeing those guys play that song in 64 or whatever it was live. You know, like... I think it's a jam. I love it. I think it was on the Rock Band game, too. I remember trying to play it on drums.
We'll have to talk about that, because I've spent so much time on the Who Rock Band stuff. And and I got a Guitarsmith.
Yeah.
Rocksmith. And that is a real big waste of money for someone who knows how to play guitar at all.
Yes.
But I still bought all the Who songs on it, and it just tells me I don't know how to play them. Baby Don't You Do It.
I again, another one I like. The Leslie West version I really like too. Another fun song. Just high energy.
I don't like this version of it, like at all. All these studio versions of these songs on this thing, I don't like.
Yes.
And Baby Don't You Do It is like a standard. I know the band played it, The Last Waltz. It was actually like the last song played at The Last Waltz, but the first song showed in the movie of The Last Waltz. And my brother showed me The Last Waltz. I was like, wait a second, the Who does this song?
Yeah.
And is the Leslie West version where you hear Roger at the beginning saying a bit of quiet or whatever, like the next one? So. That's I love that.
Yeah, no, I think it's on like the Who's Next Deluxe or whatever.
Yeah. And we're at some anniversary of that, by the way. We're at the 20th or 30th anniversary of the Who's Next Deluxe. So
Jeez,
you should not feel old about that.
Yeah.
That's all Keith Moon, though. Like so much of that's Keith Moon, right? Brilliant. Summertime Blues studio version. I have no use for the studio version of Summertime Blues.
Nope, not at all. Next.
Under My Thumb. Please see previous video about the Rolling Stones.
Yep.
Marianne with the Shaky Hands. I like this song. I like this version of this song.
Agreed, yeah. It's, again, a cheeky, song that, double entendre kind of thing. Again, just very clever Who music. It's a good one.
Do you prefer Al Cooper? I know it's Al Cooper on the organ. Do you prefer this one or Sell Out?
I think I like the Sell Out one more.
Okay. I don't know. I'm split down the middle.
Yeah, I mean, there's no wrong answer.
Yeah. No, there is. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
My Way. It's okay, I guess.
Yeah, Cookie Cutter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Young Man.
Listen, that one on headphones is awful.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, the mix. I don't know what it is. It's just, it's like all on your left ear and nothing in your right. I literally thought my headphones were messed up or something. It was really weird.
Do you use buds or do you use like big headphones or?
I have a pair of like big Sennheisers that I wear.
Okay. When you have a kid, man, that's real hard to do because I always think something is happening that I can't hear.
Right.
You know, so I'm always nervous about that. Young Man Blues in the studio is another thing I really don't like too much.
Yeah, no, this version, I don't know if there's another version, studio version somewhere.
Yeah, because it says
this one just like the tempo is just atrocious.
But we're live at Leeds people. You know what I mean? That's the thing we hear. The guy who fixed my guitar this weekend, I gave him a copy of Live at Leeds on vinyl. He had not had that, so hopefully I broke open a mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, this one is interesting. This is Cousin Kevin Model Child.
Yes.
I'll let you go first.
Hold on one second. My phone restarted for some reason.
It's weird, I think. It definitely stands out from something that would be on Tommy. Tommy has a very specific sound to it.
Yeah.
I guess this was maybe his first shot I mean, it's fully produced with horns and everything, and it sounds clear. But it's definitely weird. It's an oddity.
Yeah, I literally wrote goofy, but it's fun. Yeah, I don't know where it fits in the Who universe or what the expectations were for it. You know, I'm sure on Tommy, obviously, but it's just very off the wall, but interesting. You know,
it's cousin Kevin as Eddie Haskell from the Beaver. Just like I'm good. You know. Yeah. Love Ain't for Keeping, the electric version with Pete on the vocal.
Yeah, I like it. Not bad. I mean, again, I think I'm probably used to the one that's on the Who's Next Deluxe, but yeah, it's still a good song.
And Roger sings on that, right? On the live one?
So, yeah. And I think Leslie West is on that too.
I don't know for sure.
I'll have to look at it.
Yeah.
Look at it again.
Like I said, not experts, just two guys. Give us a break. I love it. I love Love Aim for Keeping. I never heard it. I don't know if I heard it this first electric here. Maybe I did.
Right.
I really like it. Trying to find live versions is hard because I tried to put together a Who's Next Live thing. And they did it in 1982, right?
Yeah.
And besides that, it's kind of, and the Young Vic shows, it's kind of hard to find live.
Yes.
I don't think it was done a lot live. I really like Time Is Passing. That's more like a solo Pete song, right?
Yes, definitely.
I
would agree with you there. Yeah, it's an easy listen. I like the synthesizer in the background, but it doesn't stand out. It doesn't like push itself to the forefront. But yeah, it's a good song.
When I listen to it, it makes me want to turn on Sheraton Gibson.
Yeah, I can see that.
More. You know what I mean? But I really like it. It's Lifehouse. It's Lifehouse Cycle, I believe. Yeah? No?
I think so.
Yeah. This is the next song is the one that kind of stood out to me the most on this listen. What'd you think of We Close Tonight?
Yeah, another one. I don't know if I had ever heard it or really paid attention to it before, and I might not have. Might just never have stumbled upon it. I think the only version I have like at home in hand is like the regular studio version. So of the album, I should say. So I might not have heard this song at any point. But yeah, I knew it was John Entwistle right away with the bass, but the vocals I do not care for at all. I think it was supposed to be for like quadrophenia, and I don't see the fit.
There, I did, this is a completely different version. There's a version on the Quadrophenia Demos.
Okay. Yeah.
And it is totally different, and it's more reggaeed out on the Quadrophenia Demos. It's a lot slower, and I really had to listen to it a couple times. I'm pretty sure it's John singing the main vocal part. I could be wrong.
I think it is too.
But there's like a snot-nosed kid part of it where the guy's talking about how much he likes jazz. And he's in a band, and that sounds like Pete sped up. That's like they sped up his voice to make him sound younger.
I feel like I remember reading somewhere that there was somebody else involved. That wasn't remember.
Well,
I have to dig that up again.
Well,
I'm pretty sure it was this song.
Well, if someone knows, give us a comment down below, because I'm really interesting. I really like that song for some reason. It just kind of reminds me of me. Look at me. I got these autographs. I got these records. I got this guitar. I'm awesome, but a snot-nosed kid doing that. You know what I mean? So it's my big surprise actually on the album. I really like it. And
definitely a surprising song. I don't think I ever heard it.
Right.
I never came across it.
And close tonight on how they say in Maryland, Wooder. What do you think of Water?
I heard it first, probably All the White. Another song that just has never. It's a solid song, but it just doesn't do anything for me. It's never been one of my favorites. I don't hit skip or anything, but it's all right. I've never gone out of my way to listen to it.
Isle of Wight had like a trio of songs together, and it was Water, and it was I Don't Know Myself, and it was something else, but it was in that section after they started, but before Tommy. Yeah. I've loved Water. You know what I mean? And there's a really good version on Tanglewood. So they have these live versions, so they don't put out these studio versions because they're not up to par, and I don't think they are. But I really like Water. It tells a really interesting story, a very aggro story.
Yeah.
It's pure Who at that 1970 live height, and it sounds a little bit different, but I really like it. I love Roger's growl on it, and you're right. I don't know if I would put it up there with like Naked Eye or Pure and Easy. It's not up there, but it's not too far away from me. It's probably in the batch or two down from it. So I like Water.
Yeah.
I think we were mostly positive this time. Other people might argue.
Yeah, it's an interesting start to the album, but I think everything else is worthy of praise. Worthy of smiling about at least.
And me and you didn't agree like we do, apparently, which is an issue sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not right.
The unranked but beautiful Odds and Sods, that was it. I think we're going to come back soon and do another one. So if you have anything to say, constructive, please put it in the comments. Look for the socials in the show notes. Thanks, Tom. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Ethan. Yep.
Bye.